August 29th, 2023, Columbus, Ohio. A single phone call would shatter a quiet suburban morning forever. At first, it sounded routine. No screams. No chaos. Just a voice on the line, reporting what seemed like a domestic situation. But within minutes, responders realized something was wrong. Critical details were missing. Time was slipping away. And the truth waiting inside that home would haunt everyone who stepped through the door. The dispatcher picked up the call. On the other end, a man calmly admitted he had killed his girlfriend. Moments later, officers sped through the empty streets, unaware of the horror waiting inside a familiar house. Inside, 29-year-old Shannon Hyatt lay lifeless on her front hall floor. The house, once full of life, was now silent. Her boyfriend, Chance Donahue, had called the police on himself. A chilling confession, revealing a story that would shock a city. Before she became a headline, before her name appeared in court documents, Shannon Hyatt was simply a young woman building her future. Shannon was 29 years old, intelligent, independent, and determined to live life on her own terms. She had graduated from Ohio State University, earning a degree in psychology. She believed in understanding people even when they were broken. By profession, Shannon worked as a fraud investigator. Her job was to uncover lies, yet she never imagined deception would enter her own life. Friends describe her as kind, loyal, and deeply empathetic. But empathy sometimes attracts the most dangerous people. Every crime has two stories. One belongs to the victim, the other to the person capable of destroying everything. Chance Donahue did not grow up in stability. His life was marked by chaos, addiction, and emotional instability from an early age. Friends and family later revealed a pattern: drug abuse, failed jobs, repeated attempts at rehabilitation, and constant emotional breakdowns. Chance struggled with rejection. When things went wrong, he didn't let go, he obsessed. To outsiders, he appeared broken. But behind closed doors, investigators would later describe him as controlling, manipulative, and deeply dangerous. Shannon and Chance met the way many modern relationships begin. Music, laughter, a shared moment that felt harmless. At first, Chance appeared charming, attentive, vulnerable. He spoke about his struggles, and Shannon listened. Shannon believed people deserved second chances. And in Chance, she saw someone who needed understanding, not judgment. For a while, things seemed normal. Trips together, smiles on social media, a relationship that appeared stable from the outside. But beneath the surface, the balance was already shifting. Affection slowly turned into control, and concern became fear. Every dangerous relationship gives warnings. The problem is, those warnings rarely arrive all at once. Chance began checking Shannon's phone, asking questions that felt less like concern and more like interrogation. When Shannon tried to set boundaries, Chance reacted with anger. Small arguments quickly escalated into emotional outbursts. Friends noticed changes. Shannon seemed stressed, distracted, as if she was constantly walking on invisible glass. Eventually, Shannon made a decision that should have ended everything. She ended the relationship. But for Chance, it was only the beginning. August 28th, 2023. Late night, Columbus, Ohio. While the city slept, someone was already watching. Chance Donahue drove past Shannon's home. He saw a man leaving the house. In his mind, something snapped. He didn't leave town. He didn't cool down. He went back to his mother's house and prepared. Dressed in black, armed with a knife, Chance returned. The doorbell camera captured what words never could. Shannon screamed. She threatened to call the police. Seconds later, the door was forced open. What happened next lasted only moments, but ended a life forever. Shannon was attacked near the entrance of her own home, a place that should have been safe. When it was over, Chance didn't run. He stayed. He disconnected the Wi-Fi, disabled cameras, smoked cigarettes, and remained inside the house for hours. As morning approached, Chance Donahue finally left. Shannon Hyatt never would. At 6 a.m., before police found the body, the killer made a call. Chance Donahoe dialed 911. His voice was calm. His words were not. He told the dispatcher, "I murdered my girlfriend." Police were sent immediately to Berkeley Road, southeast Columbus. When officers arrived, the house was silent. They forced entry. Inside, they found Shannon Hiatt. She was pronounced dead at 6:18 a.m. But Chance Donahoe was already gone. Minutes later, police located him near his mother's home. His hands were cut, bloodied. Silent evidence of what he had done. He didn't resist. He didn't run. He surrendered. And that's when the questions began. In the interrogation room, Chance Donahoe did not act like a man who had just committed murder. He was calm, polite, almost relieved. Detectives offered him water. He said thank you. Then they asked the question that mattered most. Why did you do it? Chance said he suffered a psychological break. He claimed he wasn't in control, but he remembered every decision. He described changing into black clothes. He described grabbing a knife. He described driving back to Shannon's house, knowing exactly what he planned to do. Then, he said something that chilled the room. He said, "Sometimes I think I'm God." He told police he believed people were objects, that by killing Shannon, he absorbed her spirit. Detectives listened, calmly, silently, because despite everything he said, one fact remained undeniable. He knew right from wrong, and he chose wrong. A year after the murder, the courtroom finally fell silent. Chance Donahoe stood before a judge. No cameras, no chaos, just consequences. He pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and abuse of a corpse. His defense spoke of mental illness, of addiction, of a broken childhood. But then Shannon's family spoke. They spoke of a daughter who was kind, intelligent, full of life, a woman who trusted someone, who decided she no longer felt safe, a woman who did everything right and still paid the highest price. The judge listened, carefully. Then he delivered the sentence. Life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 31 years. For Shannon's family, it was not enough, because no sentence can restore a life. This case was not about love, Dot. It was about control, Dot, and what happens when control is lost. If you ever feel unsafe, leave, because walking away can save your life.